What has been the worst or the hardest part about being you?
Well, I think it's the flip side of that coin of that. When you're on the top of Mount Everest, it can be isolating and dystopic in a way. You know, I think one of the greatest things that we've learned to appreciate in this role, and I tell young people this, especially young people who think they want fame, you know, it's like, do you know what that is? You know, are you grasping for something you have no idea, or your parents pushing you towards this thing? Is that when you become famous, well-known, you lose your anonymity. That's a tough thing to lose.
It's a price.
Right?
It's a cost, yeah.
It's a huge price, right? The natural, everyday thing of sitting and being able to sit in the world and observe it and not be observed, right? I mean,
wow, that's a really interesting way of putting it.
Yeah, just sort of sitting in a park and watching the world happen with nobody pulling you out of it, right? The simple walk through a park or standing in line at the grocery store and overhearing life. We don't have that, you know? We don't have spontaneity in the same way. And that's a hard thing to lose. Now, here's the thing. Fortunately, we lost it. We lost it in our 40s.
Yeah.
I just think of kids who are reaching for it, not knowing that you're about to lose a really valuable thing. You want to, you're striving to lose it, and you're only 18, 20. You don't want to lose your anonymity. You don't want to trade that off for anything in the world, because once you lose it, you lose a lot more. We've adjusted, right? Because we're adults. So yes, I can figure out how to make one move, go on a walk, visit a friend, but I have to call like 12 people, and I have to think about the movements, and security has to be lined up. We can't do the ordinary things of life, you know, go to a movie theater, or I joked at COVID when people asked, when we were all in quarantine, how did it feel? And I was like, well, it was kind of easy for us because we've lived in quarantine for like, you know, a decade.
Yeah, a decade.
And so you learn to live in this smaller footprint. But that's a tough thing that I don't think people think about when they think of power and fame, and there's some downsides to it.
Yeah, and what do people want the most from you? And because I love the idea of what you were saying of being open, it's such, that mindset is so special.
Yeah.
I guess when you are open, and then like you said, you can get over that hurt.